Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back for some more mid-tier Japanese tank gameplay. This is a battle from the 29th of November. It's before I had the Type 61 or the M42, or the Ho reproduction, of course. So you see the lineup in a minute here, I think. I can't remember if I actually showed the lineup, but at some point when I respawn, you'll see it. So I started out in my Type 60, which I have pretty good luck in fact, with the... I've had people recommending that I bring Hesh with my Type 60, but I have found Hesh to be badly unreliable, and I have much better luck with just the heat rounds. And part of that is because you only get 10 rounds of ammo with the Type 60, and the ammo is paired. So whatever ammo you switch out, you get double that because it's one per gun. So if I could bring 9 heat rounds and 1 Hesh round, I would do that, but I don't like using up 20% of my ammo on rounds that I don't like and don't trust, so. This is why I like the heat rounds, because I have quite often given the IS-6 a 1-2 punch and knocked him out like that with heat. And I don't find Hesh to be reliable in either killing IS-6s or anything else, and also it drops a lot more than the heat rounds do, so the heat rounds fly flatter and faster, and they just work better for me. If you guys want to use Hesh in your Type 60s, knock yourselves out. I find it to be unreliable, and I'm not going to use it until they fix Hesh. Anyway, after knocking out the first IS-6, I just decided to sit in position because it's such a likely place for somebody to come back. And fired off the spotting rifles here, both to make sure that my shots were where I wanted them to be, and also because curiosity will draw people out when they see somebody shooting machine guns at where they're heading. They'll pop out to see where that's coming from. Particularly in something like the IS-6, where they think to themselves, I can survive whatever that is, my armor will save me. And now I don't know whether or not it drew him out or not, but I gave him another 1-2 punch, and then had to back off and reload because the first 1-2 punch didn't work. I don't know how I survived. I'm guessing he just hit the spotting rifles there, but I gave him another 1-2 punch, and this time it worked. So that's a second IS-6 knocked out with the Type 60 heat rounds. Now maybe Hesh would have killed him in the first or second shots there, but so far for me, historically, that has not been the case, so. I like to stick with the rounds that I know are going to work, and the heat rounds are doing it for me. So I've got somebody else shooting over here, and I'm trying to draw them into a place where I can shoot at them again with the spotting rifles. It's not happening. I can hear the machine gun, I can tell it's a German tank, it's going to be a Tiger II at this battle rating. So I'm going to see if I can move up on them because they're occupied shooting at our friendly AAA off to my left here, so. And there it is, they just knocked out the M42. It's definitely a Tiger IIH, and I'm going to see if I can sneak up on him around from his left side here. One of them's been knocked out, I'm pretty sure there's more than one, and guess what happens with the gun whip here? It gets me killed again. The Type 60 and the Type 61. The gun whip just gets me killed so often. Oh well. Back in the Ho prototype. And prepare my mouse marker to immediately mark an enemy spotted on the map. Back forward into the battle we go. So our guys are shooting at something there. I don't know what it was. Besides probably the burning, destroyed tank right there. But here comes the world's longest falling bombs as well. Whatever it was, nothing was shooting back up there, so I moved forward to go back after the Tigers that I was fighting with my Type 60 here. And let me just say, after having the Ho reproduction and the Ho prototype, I am absolutely in love with the Ho reproduction. The Ho prototype is okay, but I would say if you guys are worried about having a premium for grinding, put a talisman on your Ho reproduction and don't bother with the Ho prototype. Unless you're a collectionist who needs to have everything. Get yourself, research the production and put a talisman on it, you'd be much better off. Surprise! Saw him coming, was able to get into position. I think he was moving in after the M41. But either way, got a good front quarter shot and knocked him out. So our team's in a pretty good position here to defend our capture point. And we're in a fairly good position to move forward. It's not exactly what I would call great, but the shot I got on that ISU 152 should have been great and wasn't. I've lost my own engine. I'm taking hits from the side. I am not quite flanked, but it doesn't really matter as I cannot possibly point my gun where I need it to point right now until I can repair, and it's going to be a minute or two. So I've got some help from the M56 up there, and then I got some more help from the M56 up there. Bless his little heart. Good work, Jin the card game. Thank you very much for saving me twice. Well, saving me once for sure, and then giving me an assist on the IC-152, which is also fine, because then I didn't have to deal with the IC-152, so definitely appreciate it. That's a PE-8 up there that dropped all those bombs. Thankfully, he didn't have the giant bomb. And unfortunately, I couldn't quite get my gun where I wanted it to point at him as he pulls up into a stall. Just a little bit behind him. If I'd have fired a moment or two earlier, I think I would have had a pretty good chance of actually hitting him there. But, as it was, we know we've got a PE-8 up there. We know he dropped a whole lot of bombs and at least doesn't have the Giganto bomb. And I'm trying to line the 105 up now to get another good shot at him, but he is so high up that I just can't raise the gun high enough to get a realistic shot. And I'm assuming our P-80 is going to go after him up here, but I'm going to try an arcing... an arcing shot, trying to work with the parabola of the shot there. And it wasn't too bad, I don't think, but I really can't judge the distance to see how far or close my shot actually was to him. I figured one more shot was worth a try here, and then I moved on to deal with the enemies that are shooting at me. Another Tiger. And one of the major differences between the Ho reproduction and the Ho prototype is the Ho reproduction probably would have survived that hit right there. Maybe not, because of where I took the hit, but the armor on the Ho reproduction is better at that spot right there than it is on the prototype. So, we have started decapping their point. We are holding our own point, so I judged it worthy to bring in the Kika for a little bit of air support. And I really want to take out that PE-8 because he's still flying around somewhere. Now, somebody's chasing after our F-84 there, you can see. So I'm going to see if I can get in there and help him out. But if I can find a target for my bomb first... And there went the PE-8 underneath me there. But I'm going to go try to get my bomb in on the guys that are retaking the B point here if I can help it. I can't really get a good drop on the B point, so I saw somebody firing here, and at the last second I noticed this Panther right here and dropped my bomb on him. And I actually got a pretty good drop. I didn't think I was going to get him, but it was just enough. So knocked him out. There's still somebody on B. I can't really do much about that, but really them retaking their point isn't so much of a concern here in a battle-style map as it would be in Domination or Conquest. So continued onwards to try and come help out our F-84 over here in whatever he's dogfighting against. Now I've got a completely stock Kika here. So, there's only so much I can really do with it. It's not a bad airplane, but it doesn't have the kind of engine power that you would like a jet fighter to have. It's not terrible. I've done pretty well with it. I've had a few actually really good battles with it in tank support. I haven't really used it much in air battles, but... So whatever it is that's going after our F-84 here, I'm slowly gaining on it. Now, I don't know if our F-84 has been damaged here, or if he just can't shake the guy off, or what's going on, but I'm trying to get up to him as fast as I can. And now the F-84 is back in a position where he can get shots on the guy, so... Still trying to get in here and give him a little bit of cover if I can help it. And now I can tell it's a MiG-9 that's moving on him, so... Makes a little more sense. MiG-9's cannons are not something you really want to screw with if you can help it. Now, my guess here is that the MiG-9 was a bit low on ammo. But I managed to get a shot into his right wing and blow his wing off, which I did not expect to do. And then as I roll back towards the battle, I spot a rather large dot over here, and presumably that's going to be our boy in the PE-8. And you can see their airfield off to the left there. So I'm going to try and make a run-in on this guy and pick him off before he can land. So I don't like it really when people sit and spawn camp over airfields, but if you're coming back in to land at an airfield, it's frustrating when you get killed getting shot down trying to land, but you're much more a suitable target, and besides, the airfields have got AAA to defend them, so I don't feel that bad about it. I usually just get angry that the AAA doesn't do anything to protect me when I get killed at the airfield. You can see now it is definitely going to be the PE-8 coming in for a landing, so I'm trying to make a low run to stay underneath their AAA and see if I can get a few cannon rounds into him, hopefully do enough damage to make him crash land and get a kill that way. Got a hit or two into him. He opened up with his tail guns, and I decided we're not going to screw with that and just keep right on going past. Going to extend outwards, try and make a low turn as low as possible, which isn't really that low in the Kika, so I just came up over the top to try and roll back in and get a shot at him. And the F-84. The F-84 took him out, and I made a quick dive back in on AAA on my way back out of the area, because now that the PE-8 is dead, I'm getting the heck out of Dodge. And as I'm trying to exit the area, I managed to get a short snap head-on into a 109G and then accidentally run into his wreckage. So, not a bad run for the Kika. Wish I'd had a little more reaction time on that 109G, but ended up being alright. So I was going to come back in my Ki-67 there, but realized we're getting a little thinned out on the ground, and it's probably time to come back in a tank. So back in the Sherman 76 it goes. Bouncing all over the place on the terrain on this map. Got an RU-251 rolling a little bit close into our cap. He's probably going in for the capture point and not our spawn, but between the RU-251 and then an Ostwind coming in, it's getting a little hot back by our spawn here. Now, they're probably not going for the spawn. They're probably going in to move in for the capture point. It's really hard to get to the capture point without driving really close to the spawn on this map. That's just the way this map is. So, I'm not accusing them of going after our spawn or anything, because they would get to our cap before they would get to our spawn. So, no problems there. They were awfully close to our cap, though, so certainly going to shoot at them. Now, the Sherman M4A376 is an alright tank. The gun is alright. The armor's not quite there, of course. And 105 Tigers are not going to have pretty much any trouble at all destroying a Sherman anything. Even a Jumbo, they're not going to have much trouble with. So, we've got a Tiger 105 coming in. So I'm going to line myself up to try and mark on the map as soon as I respawn and come back with my M41. And I've realized that I don't really know where the Ostwind is, but he's probably about there, so I'm going to shoot artillery at the Ostwind and then see if I can move up and get around on the Tiger 105. And then the Ostwind drives into position. I got caught by the gun whip just a little there. Thankfully, I got a fire on him, but that was not the shot I wanted to get on the Ostwind at all. At least the Super Pershing knocked out our Tiger 105 there. And I did actually get the Ostwind with the fire, thankfully, so I guess there's that. Decided to use my backup M4A3 there, and then thought, alright, we'll come back in the Ki-67 as we've just cleared all the ground threats that we knew of there out. And I'll try and get some research done on the Ki-67 before I burn the only backup M4A3 that I've got, because at this point I still didn't have the Ki, or the Type 61. And I wasn't really that close to getting it yet. So I kind of wanted to hold on to my Sherman until I absolutely, desperately needed to use it. You can see an enemy fighter going by up in the high left of the screen there. Didn't worry about that until I could get in and drop my bombs off. So I'm hoping that anybody is going to mark anything for me to bomb here, and then nothing's being marked, made a low pass as fast as I could. Very nearly crashed into a building. At least drew one guy's fire there so I could see where he was coming from. And then rolled back around again to try and get another bomb pass on any enemy I could see at this point. We're definitely in full-on defensive mode right now. So we had a T-34-100 up above our spawn behind our cap who got taken out. That guy was definitely not looking to capture our point. Now someone has started moving into our cap. So that's the guy I'm looking for to try and bomb as I'm trying to roll underneath whatever this enemy fighter is that's coming at me here. Definitely somebody now in our cap. And he gets taken out as well. It was a Su-100. So that's good. Holding on to my bomb now until I can get this enemy fighter behind me. Drop it off there, trying to catch him on the ridgeline. Didn't quite get him. He was just a little... I think he was actually protected by where the bomb blew up there. But got on the guns as fast as I could to try and get some fire back behind him. Taking some serious hits from SPAA here. And this is a 109 coming in behind me. A G2 it looks like. And another dot closing in from back in the distance as well. So now I'm basically just extending, and I'm just going to fight it out with the KI-67 as long as I can, and then it turns out it's a MiG-9 is the other aircraft coming in, and he, for whatever reason, I think must have come in too fast and decided to pull off instead of fly in front of me and overshoot. Pulled up to get the 20mm cannon in on the 109, and the plane wanted to level off because I'm in gunner view. So... rolled it up over. I've got all kinds of damage happening here, and my plane is just in all kinds of trouble. But the 109G hung just above me just long enough, and I was able to knock out his pilot for my 9th kill of the battle, it turns out. My 3rd aircraft kill to go along with 6 tank kills. And now I'm trying to roll back towards the... actual battle here and hopefully make it back to our airfield, or maybe just bail out depending on how close I get to the battle, how much damage I've got, and just get back into a tank and help our guys defend A. So I'm gonna make one low pass here and try to spot on the map anything I can see is essentially what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna try to J out and just come back in a tank. And then the decision was kind of made for me as a MiG-9 comes back and catches up to me, and 3 cannons that big, yep, that's it for the old KI-67. So now I don't really have a choice. I'm burning one of my spare tanks here. I'm not gonna come back in the Soki because that's just asking to get killed. So, Sherman 76 it is. It's the best possible chance I have of actually shooting something down. An enemy Ilyushin comes flying over and hangs in a big turn there, and I'm trying to get my rooftop M2 heavy barrel up onto him as he's just hanging there, but I just cannot get the range down right. Got a hit or two on him, and then take a hit from somebody. Can't tell where it came from. And I'm trying to just finish off the IL-10, and it turns out it's a Leopard raping our spawn again. So that's at least 2 so far in this battle. So now I'm going to burn my spare M41 as well and try to come back and mark this Leopard and hopefully get up there and knock him out so that we don't have to worry about guys shooting us from behind while we're in our spawn while we're trying to defend our cap. Now I don't quite get the shot I want on that Tiger II there, although I did hit what I was aiming at, which was trying to hit his engine. But now I'm stuck between the Leopard that's shooting down into our spawn and the Tiger 2 that now knows I'm here and probably very much so knows that I'm an M41. He took a shot at me. I'm going to risk taking a chance and driving across as quickly as I can while he's reloading and just get totally away from him. And not even bother trying to get a shot back at him with an unstabilized gun, because that's what will happen. But at least I made it past him here and tried to get up after the spawn killer Leopard up here, which was my actual objective now. So I'm marking him for my teammate here just so he knows, hey, watch out, there's somebody up here. So just try to not expose yourself and let this guy get another free cheap kill. This battle had been not bad right up until about this point, and this is where it just went to garbage. So I'm looking for where this Leopard is, figuring he's probably moved either to the left or to the right. I'm not 100% sure, and then he comes up, and then I get killed by the gun whip again. The just total lack of gun raise. He knocks out my turret on my barrel. I've got to risk a shot into him. So I got him on fire, but it was pretty much all for nothing as he reloads and gets another shot into me and then extinguishes the fire. So now I'm down to nothing but the Soki, and I've got no choice. I've got to come back in the Soki and do what I can do. So I can get more artillery against the Leopard at least, and then see if I can move in and stop them coming into the A point. Instead of driving directly at the A point, though, at least this time, I'm going to try to go around behind them and try to catch them from the side, attacking our A point. So our teammate is moving out into the open where he's very vulnerable to that Leopard there, so I'm trying to warn him, just, hey, keep your eyes on this spot here, because that's where he's coming from. And then an IS-3 ends up killing him from somewhere else, so it didn't really matter. But at least the Leopard didn't get him. So I'm hoping to move in and get a little bit of a surprise shot into one or two of these guys. I know there's an IS-3 up here somewhere, that's probably what's capping. I know the Leopard is around somewhere, and now I can hear a Quellion firing. And I can see the Quellion firing, so the Quellion has now become my first target with the API rounds here. So I'm trying to get to where I can spot him, and I want to move up here and hopefully shoot into the back of his turret, and at least get myself some kill and some research here. Get some shots into his back, don't get the fire I want. Got a critical on his commander, and then backed away with the not exactly rapid in reverse Soki. So now I'm basically I just want to wait till my artillery reloads, drop it right on the A point, and then go in and just die guns blazing, essentially, because that's really the only option I have left at this point. So I get the artillery in, and now I'm going to Dukes of Hazzard my way off this ridgeline here and come flying over and land with all my guns blazing, and while I'm halfway through the air, I get shot out of the air by a T-34-100. And that's just the way that this day went at the end of the battle. It was actually sort of funny. I mean, I just laughed. I got picked out of the air there as I jumped off the cliff. It's kind of funny. Did at least get a research bonus for one of the worst aircraft I think the Japanese have, the P-1Y1. What I did alright with the Ki-67, did alright with the Kika too. Too bad we didn't do a little better with the tanks, but oh well. Ended up with 7 ground units destroyed and 3 aircraft destroyed, so it's not that bad. Just too bad it was in a loss. There's only so much you can do sometimes. I don't know why on the end battle it said I killed 7 tanks, and then in the kill results it said 6. So I'm not sure what the discrepancy is there. So it was either 9 kills or 10 kills. But either way, doesn't really matter when you lose. But that'll do it for today. We'll bring you guys more War Thunder very soon. Thank you for stopping by and checking this one out, and have a great day, everyone. Long video today.